Alright, what's up everybody? Bryce and Michael RC here today, and I just got this a few minutes ago, and I've been dying to do something like a new video of some kind. And one of my friends and subscribers, a person I talked to on yesterday's live video, Lori, ended up, she wants to help, brought me some plastic to print more masks with and stuff. And she also got a brand new printer, and before she even opened it and built it herself or anything like that, she brought it by and she said that I could put it together and make a video putting it together, and then I can run it until my other pieces for the Anycubic i3 Mega comes in, and then she can have it back. So this is a Tronxy XY2 Pro, and I don't know how far we're going to get in the build process because I don't want to make a super long video. But if I don't get all the way, I'm going to continue to record. It's recording at the moment, so actually it wasn't recording, but I'm going to hit record anyways too. That way I can make this into a fully long video for you guys, in case you guys are wondering. And we could do like some fast forwarding in the edited one. So this will give everybody a chance if you guys want to get on, ask about the giveaway or anything like that. I'm going to be while I go through this, I'm going to be looking at the comments if anybody gets on. Of course, I get a phone call right in the middle of this. Hello? Oh, is there any of them in there? Oh, okay. Alright, we'll go look. I'm actually in the middle of a live video right now, so. Alright, bye. That was my mom calling me to tell me that the new Star Wars is in the red box. So, that's funny. I probably need more light on this, so let me get my light out so you guys can see a little bit better. And I gotta find an open USB. That should work. Some better lighting on this thing. Alright. Set it right. I wonder if I can wrap it around this. No. Can't do that. It can affect the video at all. Nope. Awesome. I might make it darker. Let's see if I can change the light on this mode. There we go. That'll work. Make the spec here more. Alright, here we go. Let's see what's inside here. Some foam. You've got the Tronxy book. Now this is just like a CR10 from what I've been told. It's almost the exact same product as a CR10. There's showing you the operating manual and all that different stuff. So I'll of course be going through this probably while building this and whenever I go through to start printing. So that's actually a pretty nice book compared to the books that I've got from Creality and Anycubic. That's super nice. And then you get all these tools which we'll be using. That's what we do whenever I build on this channel, is I use the actual tools that come with the printer itself. So got some hexes here, a couple screwdrivers. These are for the bed, metal ones, a bunch of zip ties. So I'm wondering if a lot of the wiring in this is going to need zip tied. Like I said, I'm going to probably do about 30 minutes, maybe an hour. And whatever we don't get in this live broadcast, then I'll finish up in a edited video, and you guys will still see it. So there's that little data port to go into your computer. We used to call these fire wires, with a connection on the end. These right here, little history lesson from back in the day. These wires right here, whenever you had a camcorder that had a tape in it that recorded, this is how you would transfer from one of those camcorders to a computer to put your video onto the computer. We call them fire wires. In fact, when you had a camera like this, one of these old school camcorders. So this one has a firewire connector to it, and I have several firewires because I've actually won an award in high school from video camera. I made a movie, so it's pretty cool. So how big is the printer? The printer is 510 by 480 by 230. It's actually a pretty good sized printer. So, and it's fairly cheap. Walmart.com is where you can get this for extremely cheap. And if this is good, this is kind of be my test run. Look, you get an extra sensor. It's going to be kind of a test run for me because I've been looking for new printers. Looks like it's got the exact same extruder as the Creality Ender 3. The exact same extruder. There is no difference in this extruder. That's cool. Basic Bowden extruder, I'm guessing. Yeah, Bowden tube. Everything's the same as like a CR10. Here, I'm going to point this down. Oh, I can't point it down anymore. Oh well. I'm laying everything out, and I'll just show you guys here in a second. Comes with this comes with a tiny little roll. They usually give you 1 kilogram. Or 1 pound, 2.2 kilograms. And this one comes with a 0.25 kilogram extra roll of white PLA. And then of course your scraper. A lot of people love scrapers. I actually don't use them at all. When you get a tempered glass bed, you don't need a scraper because as soon as it gets cold, it pops right off. So I haven't used a scraper in a long time. Alright, and I don't know what that piece is quite yet. It looks like it might be it looks like the roll holder, the filament roll holder. Alright, there's that plastic. We'll be moving back as we go. And this looks like, yeah, just from seeing it here, and I'm going to take it out here in a second, it looks like it's set up just like the CR10s and the Creality Ender 3. So it comes with your gantry and everything all in one piece. Looks like it's a one drive, it's not a dual drive, so it's just got the one Z-axis motor. Let's see. Oh, it's got a metal extruder, which is awesome. That's something that the Crealities come with plastic extruders, which I hate. It's all nicely wrapped. The Bowdens. It's a thin Bowden tube, just like the Creality Ender 3's got a really thin Bowden tube. So I'd probably suggest getting a thicker, better Bowden tube. And it looks like that's an extra hot end because the gantry already comes with a hot end with a silicone wrap on it. That looks really good. Really nice. What is that? Is that a self-leveling? That is a self-leveler. Isn't it? I think it is. I'm going to have to look it up, but I think that that's the self-leveling thing there. That would be awesome. For this cheap, this looks really nice. We'll see how well it is to put it together. But that looks really super nice. I'm really excited just by looking at this gantry. Really excited. I don't know how I want to lay this down because I don't want to mess anything up in the gantry. That's awesome. It's nice. I just set up one of my new, see how many of those do you got? You got a couple of them? I'm probably gonna look into those too, because those are fairly cheap as well. Let me know what you really think of them. Like run it for about 3 months, and then kind of, that's what you want to do. I don't like all these reviewers, and I'll do a first impressions review, but a lot of people, they're reviewing because they're getting stuff from a company, and they give their review, but it's not an honest review, because honestly it's just a first impressions, and I don't like saying a first impressions video is a review video, because it's not. I like to know, that's why I do a 3-month video, a 6-month video, and a 1-year video, all for my printers, because I think people want to know the durability of their printers and all that stuff. A little bit more honesty than, man, this has got all sorts of stuff going on here. See, this is okay. That's the wiring. It's flat, like that ribbon wiring. You can see the different colors and stuff of the wires here, so it's not a ribbon. It's literally wires underneath it. Ribbon would be scary. I don't like working with ribbon, especially if it was folded up like this. You can see how this was folded up. You would never fold an actual ribbon like that. So it's actual real thin wires on the inside. You can see all the different colors. That's why I was kind of like, I was waiting for a second to look at it, because I was like, I hope this isn't ribbon, and they just literally crease folded it like that. That wouldn't be good. And they got this other one here, which looks like it doesn't have anything in it, but it's shrink wrap. So it's looking like there's going to be wiring going in it. And this has one of those basic beds that you can bend and pop your stuff off of. It's not a tempered glass. Again, I would suggest you go get a tempered glass, because these will get marked up no matter what you do, because you have to level your bed with it hot. You're not going to get an accurate leveling if your extruder's not, or if your hot end's not hot. But if your hot end's too far down, then you're going to burn holes and stuff into it, and I hate those. I hate those worse than anything. I'm trying to see how this... Okay. There's this little thing here that's just, it's stopping this from going back and forth. Okay, now it's time to get into the instructions of it all. So we'll start with one. Make sure that we get this right, because there's this little thing screwed in here, and I'm pretty sure you have to take this off, because there's no way for this to move back and forth with this here. And that's what this little heat wrap is connected to. So I think you got to take that off, and that has to be, yeah, so that's going to connect to the front somewhere, because that's your screen. Yeah, that is your screen. Alright, so let's take that out. That's wild how they packed this in. It's pretty funny. So let me show you this first. So your bottom comes in like this, and then you have some heat shrink here, which is going to be the wiring that goes to your screen, which they have screwed into the bottom part here. So this can't move any further until you unscrew these two screws, and that is your screen underneath, right there. So they packed it in tight, and it looks like, I don't know if we're going to be able to keep the power supply down underneath. I hope so, because that looks like it packs it in pretty good with the power supply down in there. It's kind of more superior design than the Creality design, that's for sure. If you're able to leave it there. I've heard good things about these Tronxys, and I've heard bad things about the Tronxy. So, we will see. So, there's your screen. And yeah, it looks like that sets up. What are these doing in here? Let's get these out of here. 'Cause that's just gonna... I don't get that at all. I get putting those things there. There we go. Alright. I'm just going to take that off for now. But that was pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, it shows your screen actually sits over here on the side. So, that's pretty legit. I thought that's pretty cool. It shows how it's all packed in here. All your stuff that comes in underneath. So we'll need to come in and probably get some more stuff. Your 2 screws. That's pretty funny. I gotta find the front. Looks like this is the back here. So the front's gonna go. Right here. Now don't lose those little screw things. These little, I hate these things, I really do, but it's a really neat design. How they have these, you know, you just put these little tiny screw things in there, and then your wall bolt things, and your bolts go into that. And I need to follow the directions before I start messing. See how many screws go in it, because it only shows the 2. And it shows it kind of hanging off the side. So it looks like these little screw things go all the way to the end. And then this. Screws in like so. Going in there right. I'm going to check the other one, make sure the other one is in the right spot. There we go. It's in the right spot. Pretty legit. That just hangs out the side. Still gotta put the wires in though. Unless these have wires in them that I'm just not seeing. I don't feel any in here. Packed in. Nope. So I'll figure that out in a second. Alright, so that goes there. As many pictures and stuff that this has, it's really not the greatest. I try to look at this kind of from a beginner's perspective. See how a beginner would do on putting these on. And that would go like that. It's pretty big. It doesn't look like super gigantic or anything. So I got a couple more masks I gotta grab off real quick. Let's start another one. Oh. I gotta do, there we go. Okay. Sorry, my other printer got done with some masks, so I gotta take that off. So I'm gonna need that sensor for the gantry. It is the gantry, yep. The sensor on the gantry's not there. That's typically what it comes with. I'm just looking around. Oh, I'm looking around and seeing these other. Okay, there we go. So that is the Z motor. It's going to go into the Z motor that's over on the side. I'm just going to go ahead and take this bottom off, flip it over. And we're going to take the bottom completely off. Make sure the wiring are in here. Honestly, if this was my printer, I'd probably be like a little bit more rough with it, but since it's not my printer, I'm trying to be super delicate. I'm trying to really concentrate. Probably should have just did this as an edited video, but I'm gonna get on the chat here in a second. I see that there's some chat on there, so I'm gonna get on in just a second and read your guys' stuff after I take the back of this off. So if any of you guys have a Tronxy out there, make sure that you're leaving comments. You already put one of these together. I'm always open to suggestions. I've seen a couple of these put together before. Never put one together myself. But I have a weird habit of going on and watching people's videos, like of them putting 3D printers and stuff together. It'll actually help you in the long run when it comes to putting your own 3D printer together. I mean, they don't all go together the same way, but this whole CR10 style that everybody kind of copied off of, well, I don't know if everybody copied off of it or not, or if CR10 was the first ones or if somebody else was the first ones, but they all have the same premise design. They all just do a few little different things with like the power distribution and the screen. All of them do different things with those, but for the most part, it's the same design. Which you can't do much when you've got a really good design that works for desktop hobby printers. You can go with it. It just saddens me that there are some companies out there that want to cheapen it down way, way, way down and give people really, really bad products. Oh, that does have a wire in it. Okay, that's what I was looking on. So this one is a ribbon cord, and you can see how this one wasn't creased when it was sent. So that's really good. And this one over here is a bunch of wires. So, awesome. And then I'm looking at their, okay, the X stop is there. I'm looking to make sure that all their other wires are hooked up, so it looks like that is the Z. Okay, looks like all their other ones are hooked up. Okay, so I don't have to worry about any of that. That's what I wanted to know. Because this doesn't feel like anything's in it. But it is a ribbon cord, so. Let me put this all back together, and then I'm going to come over there and read what you guys have put in the super chat. I wish I could have my son in videos and YouTube wasn't making a big deal, because he could just sit over there and read the super chat to me and I could just talk to you guys. Somebody that's over there, though, if you're watching, tell me if you can hear me fine from this distance, and if you can't, then I'll do something about that. I tried to put my microphone as close as possible, but I don't know if you can. So, I'll just read it now. All right, let's see. John Robinson, yes, it is. How much was the printer? Go to Walmart.com. She said it was like $250 or something like that. It was well under $300. So, Randall Nolan, hi, how are you doing? You're glad I'm not doing it, not you. Yeah, so this is Lori here. I think it's supposed to be on the front from the one I seen on YouTube. One on the front. I guess I'm not sure what you were talking about, but if you're talking about this here, the screen, yes. I don't know when you put that or not, when I was questioning it or not. So, how about this? If anybody has any questions about any specific parts, any specific spots, put a timestamp next to it so I can run back to that and answer it or something. Because that'd make it a whole lot easier on me. So, 207. Okay. All right. Maybe I can have it going on my phone. This is a lot. One thing that I like about this is to get to the power board. This is the bad thing about the Anycubic i3 Mega. The Anycubic i3 Mega, it's got a cover across the entire bottom. You have to take out 1,000 screws to take it off to get to one little tiny spot, or and it's a hassle. It's all enclosed and stuff, and the power board is inside and all that. And so if you want to get to the board or the power, you have to take off the bottom. But this one has the power supply outside, so you just have to undo 2 screws here, and it looks like it just slides out. Take the top off just to get to the board, and it's just a small top with several 6 screws, 7 screws, 6 screws. The Anycubic has 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the Gantry has a wire going across the bottom that you have to go in and take 2 screws out in order to get that undone. So it was a lot easier to put together as a beginner, because when you get the Anycubic in, the base is all put together perfectly, and all you have to do is put 2 screws in the Gantry and go. That's it. And that's why I bought it, because I knew I didn't want to put together a whole machine. And this screw is not wanting to go in. What is wrong with you, screw? You too good for your home? This is your home. Alright, there we go. So now we know. This is going to be really easy to put together from here on out. So I just wanted to double check the wires. So I was putting it on, if you're talking about this screen, I'm just putting it on like that because it was on here, the picture. So that's why I put it on there. And that's kind of what it tells you to put it on here, if that's what you were talking about. Oh, 207. Oh, that's the price, yeah. So John Robinson, that's the price, 207. That's pretty dang good for a printer. That's crazy. And then, don't tell me I'm gonna take the bottom off again. Remove the back. Okay. Okay. So I'm just reading these here. Just trying to see if they have, it's just these here, but it doesn't tell you. Like, that's ridiculous. So you have these screws to put in the gantry, but it doesn't tell you. Like, so you must do it from the bottom. Base. Yep, you put them in from the bottom. I always hate it when they do this. So, I don't know which side to show you guys from, but what you do with the gantry is, I'm trying to find a good side. Put it like this. And then these little screw things. I'm trying to hold this. It really just doesn't even show you in this, because I've never put them on like this before. Now these long ones go up through here. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And into, okay. I don't know why I had a brain fart on that. It's the exact same thing as my Creality Ender 3. It's got little screw spots in the bottom of the gantry. And those just go into it. Wrong size. I just hate holding the gantry like this in order to get this in here. I really do. Because I don't want to end up accidentally damaging anything. So yeah. And these screws are so long. There we go. That could be a lot shorter. That's for sure. Let's see what you guys are doing while I'm doing this. Free shipping. So yeah, and I think, I know I asked you, and you didn't, but can't you go on to Walmart, and if you have a Walmart in your area, if you don't want them to ship it to your house or something, somebody at Walmart told me a while back that you can actually get it faster if you get them to ship it to the nearest Walmart. And they'll just ship it there and you can pick it up at the customer service desk. I don't know if they do that on everything like 3D printers per se, but I know that I've been told that on, like, I think a bicycle that we were going to get for my kids one time. Do you remember that, Jenny? Being told that? Yeah, see, she remembers that. Yeah, it has an extra hot end. The only problem with the extra hot end is it doesn't come with an extra heat core. And it doesn't come with an extra thermostat. So, and that's typically what goes out in a hot end. So that's typically what you change out in a hot end. I don't know why they would give you just the heat block without a thermostat in it. Or this way. This other one. I don't know why they would send you that with without a thermostat or the heater thing in there. This way. Now I can do that. There we go. Go in. Make sure that's not going through. This thing up perfectly. Get this back out of here. Is that my chicken just now getting done? Huh? I started chicken before I started this whole thing. Brayden! Or Jenny, will you just go get it out? I'll be done with this soon. This ain't gonna take much longer at all. This is a pretty easy build. It seems like it's a little bit more frustrating to me than you would think, but basically once I get this gantry on and pop a few more spots in place, then this will be done. I'd give it a few more minutes. And if I was using my own tools, see, I try to put these together. I still have yet to this day to put together a 3D printer with my own tools, because what I try to do is make a video with the tools that they provide you, because, you know, some people with 3D printers might not have their own tools. Who knows? So I try to put it together using theirs, and their little these little Allen wrenches are just terrible. I've got a whole bunch of tools because of my drones, and these things suck. But I try to do it just for you guys, just in case, so you can see, not only so you can see it being put together with the tools that they provided, but also kind of for my own sake, because if they say they're going to send the tools, and then dagnabbit, they better send the tools. And if I don't find one, then you can be like, hey, you know, this all went together fine, but you forgot to send me this tool. Maybe somebody else doesn't have a tool, and you know, and you don't want to forget it on theirs. All right, so this thing just hooks up. Let's see what side. Yeah, that side there. Easy. Come on. It should just pop out. And that should pop in. That was easy there. That's cool. And then the Z just hooks up down here to the Z motor. And it's real easy, these connections, because they have two little lines and a spot in the top, and that goes right into your open spot. There's that. These ones are already hooked up. So next thing I need to do, and that gantry's tight. Yeah. Guess I should have found something before I did that. That's a tight gantry. Oh, but it goes up and down smooth on the X screw. So that's good. It's good to know because we have to put in the gantry. Should be the gantry. What do you call it? Sensor. To stop the gantry from going down. It just comes down, pushes down into that, and it stops. So now I'm just trying to find the wire. For the gantry sensor. I'm not seeing it. Stuck in here. It's got a feeder sensor. It's under here again. I'm not seeing a wire that plugs into the gantry sensor, and that's the problem that I'm having. Maybe I'm just trying to put it where all of mine are and it doesn't go there because I don't see it here. I don't see it in the front on the picture. Maybe it's just an extra sensor. Maybe it doesn't need it. Maybe it has a sensor in here. Or is that self-leveler thing the sensor? That's what I want to know. So oh yeah. Sorry, I was just reading your stuff. So I think that might just be an extra sensor that it comes with. Typically when you're put together a 3D printer, that has an extra sensor here, and usually that's for your gantry, but your gantry has, let's see, number 6, auto leveling sensor. And that auto leveling sensor, this is awesome. It's got an auto leveling sensor. So you'll never have to burn your bed because you never have to level it. Like that's cool. Let's see what this is here. Yeah, it shows no gantry. Let's see, I'm trying to see. 4, X limit switch. See, because it has all these other sensors. It's got a sensor for the bed here, which needs to be tightened down. I just realized that. That needs to be tightened. It's got your bed level, or your bed switch there. It's got your hot end spot here. Your filament run out here. Let's see, left slicer. And it says auto level sensor is number 6, which is your bed leveling sensor. And that should be the gantry leveling. So I don't see, it has an X limit switch and a Y limit switch, but it doesn't have a Z limit switch. And that's what I'm looking for on here. So that auto leveler must be also like a Z limit switch. So it's put together. It's all together. That is it. I have all these extra screws, extra things here, so I'm going to double check this to make sure that I'm not missing anything. And then we're going to plug it in, because that should be it. That was easy. Easier to put together than a Creality Ender 3, which I got these zip ties, so we'll have to zip tie this up, and we'll have to zip tie this here, which I'm going to unscrew this and do it better, because this actually has a ribbon, so I'm going to bring it on the inside, because you don't want that ribbon getting pinched anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off and redo that. If I can find the right size. There it is. There it is. I'll turn it on and watch it level. Heat it up. So I think I misspoke, Lori, earlier. I think I must have said that it had an extra. I always mix up the hot end and the extruder. For the longest time, I called a hot end an extruder for a long time. And so every now and then I say extruder instead of hot end. It's my curse. But it comes with an extra hot end, not an extra extruder. But it comes with a metal extruder. So that should last forever. Well, not forever, because my Anycubic i3 Mega sadly has a metal one, and it broke, and I had to replace it. So I'm going to put this along the inside here, and then we're going to zip tie it for safety. Dang thing. I hate these little floating screws. Oh, I'm so terrible with them. Find a way to make sure that that's clearing. I don't want to zip tie that either. Let's see. Yeah, I got 110. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm gonna go back through. The only problem that I'm having is with this ribbon is, I just don't want to zip tie ribbon. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's good. Maybe it'll be good to do. But it's kind of one of those things that when you build drones, ribbon cords are not to be trifled with. You know, you don't want to mess up a ribbon cord. Now that I put it over the top, I kind of feel like it needs to go into the bottom. Alright, here's what I'll do, Lori. I will put this here, and I will let you know if you're still watching. All you got to do is unscrew these two screws here, move this back, and then put it around. It's got some stands on it, some really big, good stands, and so that ribbon can go underneath. The only problem that I have with it underneath is I always get stuff underneath my 3D printer. You know, if I'm moving it around or something, and getting a ribbon pinned underneath your 3D printer in something else isn't good. So I put it over the top, but it just doesn't look as good over the top. I don't really like it all that much. And then you got this sticking out the side here, which I don't like either, but there's really no other way to put it except for to let it stick out the side. I mean, we've got tons of these here. There's nowhere you can really put it because of how it's shaped and how it is. I mean, this is the best way for it not to get a short. It's just to leave it out like this and just to let it, if I were to take it and zip tie it somehow like this, I guess let it go up all the way here. No. Yeah, then it's going to make multiple points where it could short. So I don't want to put a zip tie. See, most 3D printers have several round coming out here, and you can take them and you can zip tie it all together and make it look really good. But there's no real way to do that with these here. There's no real good way to do it. So I'm going to leave that like that, the ribbon cord like this, and I'm just going to let you know about it. So if you want to redo that, and I'll tell you again about it whenever you come and pick it up, or I can bring it to you or something like that when my new parts come in. You got a ton of extra screws, which is awesome. You could always use some of those. I'm going to put all these Allen wrenches in your bag here. Awesome. Some extra screwdrivers. Oh, I still got to put this on. So this is going to go to the side like so. So I'll put that on real quick. But anyways, I'm going to put that on after this video is done. But I'm going to leave those cords how they are, and I'll let you kind of decide. Because I don't know how your setup is at home, where you're going to put it or anything like that. And that's kind of how you would judge how you're going to zip tie those. And so since this is only going to be at my house for a short while and then it's going to yours, I'm just going to leave them how they are. This is just kind of the best way for them. And then here's your extra hot end, which doesn't have a heat core in the heat block, and it doesn't have a thermostat in there. So I don't know why they give you this, but you have an extra tip in here. Extra ones of these are always good to have. But the rest of this, I mean, the only time you need to replace either of these is if it gets clogged. I mean, it's usually the heater or the thermostat that goes out in them. So, but I guess, you know, extra pieces are extra pieces. It's good to have. There's your screwdrivers. So I've got all that. This is oh, I like this. Mine is tiny, but it looks like it's bent already, so I don't know. And it comes with a little 8 GB card, which most of them come with. So it's good. I'm gonna put that bed on there, and I'm gonna turn it on, and we're gonna self-level. That's worth it right there. I mean, all of this stuff is fixable. Even if some of this stuff, you know, I don't like the design of the wires here, and I don't like the design of the wires there because of how, you know, they're all just kind of compressed together. Typically, like with a 3D printer, one wire goes out here, one wire goes out there, and it's really easy to go in and just fix that wire or something. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be a lot easier if you can go on Tronxy and just get this whole ribbon thing here, or get that whole rib. Maybe that's a whole lot easier and cheaper. You know, who knows? But I just don't like how that sets out like that, and there's really no way to zip tie it. But I love how this comes with a self-leveler on it. It's got the exact same hot end as the Creality Ender 3. I don't like the Bowden tube because I didn't like the Bowden tube on the Ender 3, and it's the exact same one. I love, these are like first impression comments. I love the extruder. It's real tight spring. It's going to hold it up against that really, really successfully, really good. It's got one of these cutoff switches to where you put the plastic through here and then through the extruder. And then if the end of your plastic starts to come through here, it'll pause it. Which I don't like those. I take them off of mine because they will malfunction after a while. My Anycubic one malfunctioned after about 6 months, and it would pause and then start again and pause and start again and did all this different stuff, and I hated it. So I just took it off, and it's not worth it to go through all that mess. I just took it off and I just watch it. And once you get enough experience, which I'm sure you have because you've been 3D printing for a while, once you get enough experience 3D printing, you kind of know how much plastic you're going to use for your piece, and if you have enough plastic anyways. And that's the thing about it too, is if a 3D printer pauses, after a 3D printer pauses and then starts back up, it leaves like a little weak spot in your print, and I hate that. So it's really kind of not worth having it. So yeah, this is definitely an upgrade from a 6-inch bed. That's what you had, definitely. It's an upgrade from a Creality Ender 3. I mean, it's super nice. And it's well put together. Like, the idea behind it is well thought out. It's nice and compact. And you can put one of these sensors on a Creality Ender 3. You can buy them online and put them on. Oh, I already put that thing out. Why didn't I do that? I'll just use my own. Screw it. I know I've been using their tools until right now. Until right this second. Now I'm going to use my own, because I don't want to dig it back out. I think that's the right size. Yep. Yeah, they make one of those for the Creality Ender 3 and for the CR10. So you can get those auto levelers. But for an auto leveler, something this nice with an auto leveler for $207, this may be my next printer. If I really like it and it prints really well, this may be my next printer. Because this is nice. It's really nice. It's sturdy too. Like, these are metal. Gantry's all metal. There's a 3D printed, like, it's got a fan here and the little guidance that guides the fan to the hot end. That's 3D printed, but that's the only 3D printed piece on this whole thing. Like, the Anycubic sensor here that feeds the filament sensor, that's 3D printed on the Anycubic. And then there's a few other things, but this, the only 3D printed part is this one right here. All the rest of this looks like good ABS plastic or PETG plastic or metal. That's awesome. $207, you would think that they would do what Creality did and cheap out. Like with the Creality Ender 3, I had to do a whole bunch of upgrades to get it printing good. Like a bunch of upgrades. Not upgrades, but I had to print a whole bunch of extra pieces off just to get it. You know, printing is good. Oh, I don't have a plug-in over here, do I? I think I have a... Oh, this isn't going to work. That's not going to stretch all the way. Actually, this would, but it would unplug my computer, which is live now. So what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna get off of here. It's all put together. I'm gonna plug it in here in a second, but I'm gonna record it on an edited video. So this is all put together. Went together really fast, a lot faster than I put it together. If I was doing this off camera, it would have probably went together a lot quicker. But what I'm going to do is get off of here. I'm going to set all this back because I've got my table kind of moved to put this on. So I'm going to set it in a spot. I'm going to plug it in and do my first impressions and stuff. And I'll make that an edited video for you guys. So check back tonight or tomorrow and I'll show you guys this thing printing. I'll show you it on. I'll give you my first impressions of it. I'll tell you about the auto leveling and all that different stuff. I wish I could start it on here, but I don't have a long enough cord. This is about as far as the cord goes this way, about as far as the cord goes this way, and I don't have a wall anywhere close to me. Oh, you guys can't even see that. Let me scoot this up closer so you guys can really see this in all its. Oh, let's go from the top to the bottom. It's pretty big, and I'll kind of do a size comparison with the Creality Ender 3 between its next prints. When the mass that it's printing right now, the mass that it's printing right now, when it gets finished, I'll unplug it and set it on the table and kind of show you guys these set next to each other. Plus my new bed and stuff for the Anycubic i3 Mega is coming in Saturday, and so I'm going to do a live video. Not only for the giveaway, but I'm going to do a live video replacing the bed for the Anycubic i3 Mega when that comes in. So that'll be 2 live videos Saturday. If you couldn't make it to this one, make sure that you're in the giveaway. Make sure that you make it to the giveaway, especially if you've commented and you've entered into the giveaway. Make sure that you are on that Saturday. I think on the 3,000 one, we're going to do it to where you have to be here. Or like get your name called type of thing, maybe. I don't know if that's fair, but oh, it's my channel. I'll do my first thoughts, first print, size comparison with the Creality Ender 3. I'll kind of compare it to the Creality Ender 3 and the Anycubic i3 Mega, and we'll get some first prints off of it. This will be the only time that I print non-mask stuff at this time, because it's going to be really good to print its first print. It'll come with oh, what do they call them? The test print. I can't remember exactly what they're called. It's the boat. What's the name of that boat? Oh, I can't remember. Anyways, it'll come with a test print, so I'll print the test print first just to kind of see it, and then I'll do my settings through it and see how it prints with my settings. And I'll also see Cura's settings and kind of see what Cura's basic settings for the Tronxy is, if it has any. And we'll give it a good solid first impressions breakdown and stuff, and then I'm going to start printing some masks with it. Thanks to Lori. She's letting me borrow it until my Anycubic i3 Mega bed comes in. And then I'm giving it back to her, and she's going to enjoy it. I can already tell you're probably going to really enjoy this, because it's a really good printer. I mean, it looks really, just from first impressions of looking at it, the way that it's structured and built and stuff. Like I said, the only things I don't like are the wiring. Only things I don't like. The rest of it looks real solid, sturdy. Looks like a great machine. But we'll put that to the test here in a little bit, and you guys will see the video tomorrow or the next day. So check back here at Bryson Michael RC. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that post notification button so you're notified when I put out new videos. We'll see you guys later. Y'all have a good one. Bye.